Hello, good people. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker, coming back at you live once again from the Lone Star State with another edition of the Media Mike Speaks. All right, good people. Have you heard of this? It's out there, but it's not out there. This guy, Kevin Steele, he's trying to send Bill Cosby back to prison. You know, the Pennsylvania DA, who got his, what handed to him by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, who said it was unconstitutional what they did, violation of due process. So Mr. Cosby was let out, set free. So this guy is trying to appeal to send him back. So we're going to get to this. I mean, just unbelievable. Kevin Steele, this guy right here, the district attorney from Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, who put Bill Cosby in prison in 2018, has filed an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court to reinstate the disgraced comedian's conviction. Now, as we all know, Mr. Cosby was released from prison on June 30th after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, which I mentioned earlier, ruled that former prosecutor Bruce Caster's decision not to prosecute Cosby in 2005 should have prevented him from being charged by a successor DA in 2015, because they wrote that up. But now, in this petition, the U.S. Supreme Court Steele's office called the Pennsylvania court's ruling a dangerous precedent. I mean, it is. Now, I did download the actual appeal case that he sent to the U.S. Supreme Court, so I'm thinking about going live with that. But this is flat out stupid, you ask me. Now, let's continue with this. A prosecution announcement not to file charges should not trigger due process protections against future criminal proceedings because circumstances could change, including new incriminating statements by the accused, the prosecutor's office argued. This is what he's trying to say. He's saying that things could change, so that shouldn't be held binding, that a future precedent should not exist. That's what he's saying. That, hey, being that this is set, it shouldn't be this way because things should come up. Things will come up, and then we can go back. Well, no. What that means is that, sir, now I'm not an attorney. That's a disclaimer. But I do know on the fact that you have to come up with new charges, sir. New charges for a new case. But anyway, let's continue. Cosby, 84, was convicted in 2018 and was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison for sexually assaulting Andrea Constant at his Philadelphia home in 2004. He served nearly 3 years of his sentence before his June release. The DA's petition to the Supreme Court argues that the Pennsylvania ruling raises issues under the Constitution's due process clause. In a press release accompanying the filing, Steele argues, now, take a look at this, good people. Here's his part of his little brief here, I would say. He quotes, "The question presented to the court is, where a prosecutor publicly announces that he will not file criminal charges based on lack of evidence, does the due process clause of the 14th Amendment transform that announcement into a binding promise that no charges will ever be filed, a promise that the target may rely on as if it were a grant of immunity?" Unquote question. I told you what he's trying to do. Sir, you have to find new charges for a new case. But I guess he doesn't want to do that. Now, Cosby spokesman Andrew Wyatt issued a statement blasting the prosecutor's office for asking the Supreme Court to throw the Constitution out the window. Kudos to you, sir. He goes on to say, he quotes, "There is no merit to the DA's request, which centers on the unique facts of the Cosby case and has no impact on important federal questions of law. This is a pathetic last-ditch effort that will not prevail. The Montgomery County DA's fixation with Mr. Cosby is troubling to say the least," unquote. And it is. Like, this guy is just, he's fixated. Like, he's obsessed. Now, in June, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, we all know, once again overturned the conviction on a 6-1 vote, finding that Cosby had relied on Caster's promise not to prosecute when he gave his incriminating deposition testimony. Since his release from prison, Cosby has largely remained out of the public eye. He's done no high-profile interviews, and despite Wyatt's promises, Cosby hasn't announced a return to the stage on any future projects. Okay, I mean, he's 84 years old, man. Come on now, he's 84. Really? Now, good people, This is the kind of stuff that pisses me off to the highest level of festivity. They need to just give it up. Because it's not going to fly. No matter how hard you try, sir. He's not going back to prison. For one, I told you he's 84. Man, give it a rest. You got your conviction, even though it was overturned. But damn, this is one of the reasons why people don't trust the court system. Because you have people like Mr. Steele who just don't know when to quit and move on to other cases. But hey, anyway, what can I say? Other than that it's all not going to go his way. But anyway, all right, good people. And also, that's it for today. Let me know what you think about this. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below. So, until next time, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.